Okay, in this session what we are going to target is, we earlier completed few topics, Sale of Goods Act Unit 1 and 2. So what we have pending now is Sale of Goods Act Unit 3 and 4 and Indian Partnership Act 1, 2 and 3. Can I continue with Sale of Goods Act itself or partnership? Sale of Goods Act. We will complete, finish in the next 45 minutes, 1 hour. Sale of Goods Act will get over, and then what will be left with only is Partnership Act. Follow LLP last. Okay, fine. Follow, guys. Now we'll see, we look at break or not based on how it goes. Next 2 hours till 7, no break. Then we'll see how it goes. Fine. Sale of Goods Act. Unit 3 is a simple and small unit. This unit is split into only 3 parts. Okay. In this 3 parts, first part talks about transfer of ownership. Transfer of ownership means when ownership will be transferred from seller to buyer in different types of goods. Second part of the standard talks about when ownership can be transferred by a non-owner. The Latin term is called nemo dat quod, non-habet. That we already finished. Which mnemonic? MJ, superb. Michael Jackson, superb. Mercantile agent, all of that. Clear? And last part of the standard is a small part which talks about rules of delivery. If somebody is delivering goods, what are the rules that they have? So this part we already finished in mnemonics in the previous video. Those who are watching recording, in the link description you will have all the video links. Go and find it over there. Rules of delivery, we will take it up later. Now I'm going to look at transfer of ownership. Simple chapter, we can quickly complete this. In this chapter, if you see in exam, this transfer of ownership, all the sub points have already been tested. Nemo dat quod non-habet also has already been tested. The only untested area, not even 1 mark is tested, is from rules of delivery. And that's why in my important questions, I would have mentioned rules regarding delivery in red pen. Anything can be important because rest everything is already tested. Are you following, guys? Clear? Okay. Now, come down. That PDF and all you will get it, guys. It's available everywhere. Just take it from the description again. Fine. Now, follow transfer of ownership. It depends. In this, we are going to classify into 4 types of cases. In transfer of ownership, what is the default rule? First, then we have transfer of ownership in case of specific or ascertained goods. Transfer of ownership in case of unascertained goods. Then in case of sale or return or sale or approval basis. And last one is reservation of right of disposal of goods. These 4 things is what we have in this chapter, guys. First, ownership is transferred. Let me give some scenarios. Let's say Dhoni goes to sports shop, takes the bat, plays a shot, hits the wall and the bat breaks. Or you go to a showroom, you take a Pepsi bottle, glass bottle, it slips from your hand, Pepsi bottle falls down and it breaks. Or let's take another scenario. You go to Titan showroom, you buy a watch, then you told the showroom, keep the watch with you, I will come and collect it tomorrow. Before you go tomorrow, that shop got fire, all the watches are destroyed along with your watch. Now, in all these scenarios, who will bear the loss? By now, you should already know the answer because now we are in marathon. You should know the answer. That's the only scenario we're going to see. Answer is, who has the ownership? They will bear the risk. In simple words, ownership is transferred. The law says, whenever the parties intend to transfer the ownership, ownership is transferred. The law simply says the parties can decide in contract when they can transfer ownership. That's it, based on intention. If the parties are silent about it, then the law gives some criteria based on this as to when ownership will be transferred. First is specific or ascertained goods. So in case of specific or ascertained goods, so in case of specific or ascertained goods, we classify into three buckets. First, specific or ascertained goods which are already in deliverable state. Example, what is the things that you go, pay and buy and come? All this junk food, or what is this, ready-made products, sometimes even clothes, shirt, if it's fitting you, ready-made, you will buy it and come. Let's say you want to go buy a chair, what is there? It's readily deliverable, correct? So goods which are in deliverable state, when is ownership transferred? Ownership is transferred when the contract is made. That's it. That means when I make the offer, when the other party accepts, ownership is made. So I go to a shop, I say I want to buy the shirt. I took the shirt, went to billing counter, I want to buy. He accepted to sell it to me, contract is made. At that point, ownership is transferred. Unless the shopkeeper has a different rule for transfer of ownership. Are you following? So deliverable goods, deliverable state, specific goods in deliverable state when contract is made. Next, the goods to be put into deliverable state. Example, what is goods to be put into deliverable state, guys? Any example? Laptop, we have to put some, okay, cycle. You go to buy cycle has to be assembled. You go to buy a cake, you order a cake for 2 kgs. He has to make the cake, bring it to deliverable state, write that happy birthday message, whatever you want and pack it. Then only you can take the cake. Goods to be put into deliverable state. In this case, when ownership is transferred, when the goods are put into deliverable state, that means good is ready for delivery. Only when cake is ready for delivery, so good has to be put into deliverable state, plus just because cake is ready, so seller has to intimate the buyer. So when goods are to be put into deliverable state, ownership is transferred when two things happens. When goods are put into deliverable state, cycle means cycle assemble pannittu, I have to call and inform, otherwise how I will know? Plus notice given to buyer. Are you following? Last case is where the same thing will continue. Goods to be, it can be basically this plus this or this plus this. Any one combination. Either goods are already in deliverable state plus the third point. If I write A, B and C, it can either be A plus C or B plus C. Law is not explicit about it, but that's the meaning. Over here what they are saying, when the buyer has to do something to ascertain price. For example, you go to buy rice. You go to a ration shop. Apde kai vechi can you take the rice? No. Goods are to be put into deliverable state. He has to pack it and then how much you have to pay based on the weight. So when is the ownership transferred? When the price is ascertained and when notice is given to the buyer. So here ownership is transferred when price is ascertained plus notice given to buyer. And even since goods are not in deliverable state, it is price is to be ascertained plus notice plus it should be put in, because that is anyway coming from point B. Are you following, guys? So very simple. Specific or ascertained goods, deliverable state, think of all the goods ready for buying a pen. Ownership is transferred when the contract is made. To be put into deliverable state, cake, cycle, for these things, it should be put into deliverable state plus notice should be given to the buyer. Last one, if price has to be ascertained, once price is ascertained and notice is given, if it's already in deliverable state, no problem. not in deliverable state, put into deliverable state. Are you guys following? This is for specific and ascertained goods. This is done. Next, in case of unascertained goods. Example of unascertained goods. Fruits and vegetable vendor comes to our house. They carry that basket, correct? That basket is there. Hello guys, okay. Now, the goods here are unascertained. When is ownership transferred? In case of unascertained goods, when you ascertain them. That's called when goods are unconditionally appropriated. Who appropriates that? Either the fruit vendor will take and give it, or I will put my hand and take it. So the appropriation can happen by buyer with the consent of seller or seller. Why will he take it only after you asking you? See, seller won't simply take 10 apples and throw it on you. He will ask you and take it and pack it. So seller with consent of buyer. So appropriation can happen in two ways. Now such a consent can be given express or implied before or after appropriation. So such a consent can be before or after the appropriation. After the appropriation, it can be express or implied. Are you following, guys? So they'll ask a straightforward 6-mark theory question can come. What will be the question? When ownership is transferred in case of unascertained goods, when the goods are unconditionally appropriated by buyer with the consent of seller or seller with the consent of buyer. Such a appropriation consent can be implied or express. Consent can be before or after. Meaning, sometimes vegetable vendor will come, keep the basket. He will be on phone. I will simply take the goods, I will pack and tell, I want to buy it. He will tell okay. Sometimes he itself will pack and give and tell you, I pick the best apples for you. He will give it. Either way it can happen. Are you following, guys? Both happens. Any other point here? That's it. Clear? Yes. Goods. One more important. I was looking for one more. It should also, goods should also be in deliverable state. Goods should be in deliverable state. If it's not in deliverable state, that means, for example, future goods. Then I have to bring it to deliverable state and then do all of this. Are you following, guys? Clear? Not in deliverable state now. Anytime bring it to deliverable state and then do all of this. Clear? Understanding, guys? So here we are now done with unascertained goods. Any doubts in these two, guys? Fine. Okay. Next, in case of sale or return basis, sorry, no, that I am going to take in reservation of right of disposal. Delivery to carrier, it will come along with reservation of right. Sale or return basis. Here we have 3 points. Feel free to tell me the points. Okay. I will cover it somewhere. Okay. Sale or return basis. This it comes in law and in accounts. Okay. You will be lucky if it comes in law for 6 marks. Accounts sums is easy, guys. That's a scoring chapter. Okay. I'm sure everybody knows that it's easy. Nothing great in that chapter. No. Yes. Forgot. Okay. Leave it. Sale or return basis. Let's take an example. Example, guys. Sale or return basis. For how many of you here I took sale or return basis chapter? Accounts. Accounts for a few. Okay. It's an easy chapter. Not that difficult. Follow, guys. It's easy, guys. How many of you find this chapter in accounts as difficult? Difficult? No, it's not difficult. It's easy. Okay. Now, come back. Let's take an example. Let's say, chapter okay. Fine. Follow, guys. Everything you skip the accounts. Chapter okay. When the module? Which module? Sale or return basis accounts. Module 1, correct? Sure, 100%. Okay. Now, follow guys. Let's say, assume we are now in COVID lockdown. Let's say we have two people. Let's say we have Janasurya. அங்கே எழுதினாலே மேலே போ. Janasurya and அடுத்த example. Okay. Janasurya and Harish. Now, Harish wanted to get married. So for that, in COVID, he wanted to buy some shirts. So Janasurya has a textile showroom. So Janasurya sent to Harish 30 shirts. He doesn't know Harish size of shirt. So roughly he sent, ida size irukun solli he sent some shirts, different colors. He sent 30 shirts to Harish. Now what Harish has to do? He has to, in this 30 shirts, he told, I want to buy 17 shirts. 13 shirts, he gave it back. Because COVID time, no shop, he sent courier, came back in courier. So first, when goods are sent in sale or return basis, if the buyer accepts the goods, sale is completed, ownership is transferred only with respect to the goods that he has accepted. If he doesn't accept, second case is reject. So if he's not accepting, he will reject. So second is, in second case, if he's going to reject, then ownership is not transferred. However, what Harish did, he kept those shirts, but he never replied itself after that. Now what will happen? We will check if there is time. Janasurya is saying, within 1 month, 1 month to put 30 shirts and test it out. So he said, within 1 month you reply. So in second case, if a time is specified, if you reply within the time, you can reply as accept or reject. But if there is no reply within the specified time, it's equivalent to acceptance. Harish after 30 days also did not reply, equivalent to acceptance. Janasurya friend in solli, he did not give a time. He just gave the shirt. Now Harish should reply within reasonable time. Where for sale or return basis, time is not specified. Acceptance or rejection should come within reasonable time. If it goes beyond reasonable time, no reply, it's equivalent to acceptance. That is second case. Third, Janasurya gave 30 days to reply. On the 7th day, Harish put a story. Today's charitable work, donating 30 shirts. He donated to 30 kids. Okay. Now, he is still yet to confirm back to Janasurya, but what he did, by putting a story, he has conveyed that he has accepted, or he put a story, today's bogi, he burnt all the 30 shirts. So third one is doing such an act which is equivalent to acceptance. Are you following guys? Understanding? So in sale or return basis, first case, if the buyer accepts, equivalent to acceptance. If buyer rejects, no acceptance, ownership is not transferred. If time is specified, accept within the time given, or reject within the time given. If you cross the time, equivalent to acceptance. If no time is given, then reply within reasonable time. What is reasonable depends on the facts and circumstances of each case. In the last scenario, no time, nothing, but where the buyer does any act which is equivalent to acceptance. Every day is putting story. Today's new outfit of the day, he's putting stories. Then act is equivalent to acceptance. Are you following guys? Clear? Understanding? This is the case where ownership is transferred in sale or return basis. Now the last one is reservation of right of disposal. This is applicable for all types of goods, ascertained, unascertained, specific, whatever. Let's say you try it out. Next time you order food on Swiggy or Zomato, you put COD. Now if you don't give cash, will he give you the food? No. See, you can connect the food, then you give the cash, that's fine. But if you don't give the cash, will he leave from that? So the seller, who is the seller? Let's say you are buying food from Sangeeta, I'm talking restaurant, Sangeeta restaurant. let's say from Sangeeta restaurant, let's say you purchased sambar rice, okay, 100 rupees, okay. Now, when the food comes to my house, only if I pay 100, the Swiggy delivery agent, the carrier of the goods will give me the goods will be delivered and ownership will be transferred. If I don't pay this, he will not deliver the goods. This instruction is given to him by Sangeeta restaurant to the carrier, correct? To Swiggy. So, reservation of right of disposal. Harish, you can discuss about marrying Sangeeta later. Come back. Okay. Reservation of right of disposal. Okay. Fine, fine. Just joking, guys. Leave it. Come back. Reservation of right of disposal. I will go back to that. Okay. Reservation of right of disposal, guys. Follow. In this, when the seller, the concept says, when the seller is sending goods to the buyer through a carrier, the delivery person, then he can tell the carrier or any other person who is delivering not to deliver the goods, or even if you deliver the goods, ownership will not be transferred until some conditions are met. For example, in our above example, what's the condition? Paying 100 rupees. So I'll again repeat, reservation of right of disposal says, see what is right of disposal? Disposing my right of ownership from me to you. So the ownership I will reserve, I will still keep it with me if some conditions are not fulfilled. So the seller can reserve the right of disposal of ownership through the carrier or from the buyer until some conditions are met by the buyer. Are you following, guys? Clear? It can be like, let's say one factory is buying, in lorries they are buying lot of, let's say, cement. Then the owner will tell the carrier, do not deliver the cement until he gives the check. So, reservation of right of disposal, reserving right of ownership until some conditions are met by the buyer. Sometimes I can deliver, but still ownership will not be transferred until you make the payment. Classic example, EMI, hire purchase. In hire purchase, car is delivered, but ownership is still held back with me until you pay all the EMIs. That's the condition. Reservation of right of disposal. Are you following, guys? That is reservation of right of disposal. So this concept also is done. Now we are done with when ownership will be transferred. As per law, ownership will be transferred based on intent of the parties. Now I am a seller, you are a buyer. Can I not follow this? And can I follow anything else of my choice? Yes. The seller and buyer, they can decide based on their intention, transfer ownership based on the conditions of their choice. If they are silent, then the law decides this. Are you following, guys? Clear? Nemo.quad quad non-habit we already finished. Now we are going for rules of delivery. Yes, Harish, no doubt. Yes. So what Harish is saying is, sir, in sale or return basis, last point, does something equivalent to acceptance. He is asking, can I do something which is equivalent to rejection? Yes. Give me an example. Equivalent to rejection. That's it. But yaar story poduvanga. I'm not going to buy this shirt. Yaar poduvanga. adha paathe kadade. You put. But apni story you can put story like that. I didn't like the shirt. We can put the story. No problem. Okay. Fine. Are you following, guys? Guys. Rules of delivery. There are about 10 to 15 rules. Are you guys following? 10 to 15 rules here. Now these rules are, we follow, guys. These rules are, you don't have to mug up. Let me show you where it's in the book. Some of you are blinking. Wait. Guys, settle down, guys. Guys, settle down. Rules of delivery. Now, first, guys, can we continue? I don't mind. We can go till 9 also. Proceed, guys. Okay. I want to finish, but I have a cut-off time in my mind, maximum 8. How much more we can do till 8, guys? But I want to finish, only then I will get satisfied. So, follow. Rules of delivery. First one, let's take these points one by one. First, I'm just going in random. Each point, should I mug up? No need. But just know the concept. Okay. First, wrong quantity. I asked for 100 units. They delivered only 90. What I can do? What you can do? Either accept 90 and ask for 10, or accept 90 and leave it, 90 is enough, or reject the full 90. You can do whatever you want. I asked for 100, they sent 110. What you can do? Accept 100 and reject, or accept all 110 or reject all. That's all your choice. Who will reject? You return 10, but you have the right to. I asked for 100. Why you gave 110? Reject everything. That also I can do. Are you following, guys? This is delivery of wrong quantity. I'm not able to mark it here. Yeah, this one. Okay. The center one, delivery of wrong quantity. Next, expense of delivery. Expense of delivery. Who will bear the expense of delivery? Who will bear, guys? Who will bear it? Follow. Let's say you ordered. Let's say you ordered on Swiggy, you ordered fish fry. Vegetarians, just example, guys. You ordered fish fry, guys. Now, how does fish fry take place? First, you have to go to the ocean, get that fish, then it's sent to the farm, then it comes to the restaurant, it gets cooked over here, then packed in box, comes to your house, then it goes into your stomach, correct? Now, when is the fish fry ready for delivery? At the restaurant. So, at the restaurant, it becomes ready for delivery, it's in deliverable state. When it's in the ocean, can you take and eat it? No. It is in deliverable state only in the restaurant. So, until that fish fry, the good is in deliverable state, who has to incur the expense? Seller. Once good is in deliverable state, after this who will incur? Buyer. If you think and see, when you order in Swiggy or Zomato, delivery fee who's paying? Nana pay pandra. Ama suma offer potu kammi panni, you will adjust somewhere. But end of the day, I only pay the delivery fee. Clear, guys? So, expense of delivery is on seller. If you go take away and you buy it, will you pay delivery? No. Are you following, guys? That's it. Next, that's the next point over here. Expense of delivery. Next, damage during delivery. All these are independent concepts. One point to another point, there is no relationship except they both relate to delivery of goods. Damage during delivery. Who will bear the loss? You ordered, let's say, you ordered ice cream. It came after 2 hours, it became milkshake. What you will do? Damage during delivery. It leaked fully. Who will bear the loss? Seller only has to. Will you accept it? No. You ordered pizza. When it came, both the pizzas got folded. Now, it became sandwich. Will you take it, guys? No. So, when delivery is a short distance within city, then the loss will be borne by, I am not responsible. But when delivery is long distance, Chennai to Bangalore, Chennai to Mumbai, if it's going to be long distance, it will be borne by, what is long distance damage? Sending eggs from Chennai to Mumbai. During transit, some eggs ni eppadi pack panalum, some eggs are bound to break. So long distance, it will be borne by buyer, guys. So that is the next point. Deterioration, this one, deterioration during transit. Next, when goods come to my house, do I have the right to inspect before accepting delivery? Yes, that is the next point. Look at this. Buyer's right to examine the goods. Buyer has the right to examine the goods before taking the goods. Are you following, guys? So let's go one by one. We know what is delivery is done. Effect of part delivery. It means, look at the point what they are saying here. None of these points are tested. It means it's more important for exam for this time. A delivery of part of the goods in progress of delivery of the whole has the same effect for the purpose of passing property in such goods as the delivery of the whole. But the delivery of part of the goods with an intention of severing it from the whole does not operate as the delivery of the remainder. What is the meaning of this, guys? When I deliver part goods, then ownership for that part is transferred to you. Look at this. In progress of delivery of the whole has the same effect for the purpose of passing the property in such goods as delivery of the whole. So part delivery transfers the ownership to you for that part, and even the whole goods ownership will be transferred. Are you following, guys? Look at that. A delivery of, let's say you purchase sofa set, 2 single pieces and 1 bigger sofa. A delivery of part of the goods, they only gave individual sofa. In progress of delivery of the whole, I got half sofa. Has the same effect for the purpose of passing the property in such goods as delivery of the whole. That means that part of goods ownership is transferred to me. Are you following, guys? Clear? Buyer to apply for delivery. Very simple. When will seller deliver? When buyer asks for it. Simply he won't come and deliver. Only when you go online and click on place order, yes, deliver to this address, then only he will deliver. Only when I ask for delivery, delivery is done. Next, place of delivery. Let's write down, guys. Yes. Long distance, why should buyer bear it? Okay. See, this point is correct, guys. Short distance, who will bear? How to remember? Short distance, yes, short seller. But logic is there. Short distance means all this online deliveries happen in short distance. Okay. In long distance, because of the nature of long travel, some damage is bound to happen. This is default as per Sale of Goods Act. If I want, can I change it? Yes. I can change it based on my intention. Long distance, pack if I am transporting petrol, long distance, however I pack it, some petrol is bound to evaporate, some eggs are bound to break. So buyer has to bear that loss because you only ordered from long distance. You order from long distance. Okay. Next, place. If place is mention, deliver in that place. If you give address, I will deliver in that place. Otherwise, if place is not mentioned, then apart place where, at the place where the contract is made. So if this place is not mentioned, then I will deliver at which place? Place where contract is made, which is nothing. If this also is not, you're not able to ascertain, then deliver at the place where goods are manufactured. Let me give an example for this. Let's say you went to goods are manufactured or produced. You went to Vivek's showroom and you purchased one TV and you paid the money. where will Vivek showroom deliver? In the address that you give. You left without giving the address. Where he will deliver? He will keep it in the place where contract is made, in the showroom. Ange veppa. And the also, if it's not reasonable, imagine you made the contract online. Where I will keep it? Contract is made online in website without giving address. Then place where the goods are manufactured or produced, because that is the source, origin. I will keep it there, thinking buyer will come and collect. I can't go and deliver it randomly in some place. Are you following, guys? That is the point for place of delivery. Time of delivery. You tell me, guys, without reading. What time? Reasonable time. Time mentioned panna, that time. Otherwise, sometimes I will tell deliver at night 2 a.m. If I allow, you can come. Swiggy, Zomato will order at night. They come because I asked for delivery at that time. Otherwise, reasonable time. Amazon, all of that. Next. Goods in possession of third party, you already know. This they are talking about constructive delivery. Goods in possession of third party, delivery is confirmed or done when the third party gives the acknowledgement. Constructive delivery. Are you following? Again, time of delivery, same point, repetition. Time of tender of delivery, reasonable time when I should start delivery. Expense we discussed. Deliverable state. Delivery of wrong quantity also we discussed. Accept, reject or return, how much over you want. Then installment delivery. Now, can seller deliver in installment? You ordered 5 pizzas. First he came and gave you one. Then again after half an hour he came and gave you one more. Again is coming and giving you one more. Can you do that? Yes or no? Yes, sir. So, default rule, you cannot do delivery by installment. But if the buyer agrees for it, then I can deliver by installments. Are you following, guys? That's why whenever they want to deliver part, they will call you and check. They will tell, sir, full sofa we can't bring today. The truck is not big enough. Today I will bring half. Tomorrow I will bring half. Okay, fine. Are you following, guys? Next. Delivery to carrier is deemed to be delivered to the buyer. That's simple point. Deterioration during transit. This only we saw, correct? Distant place, it will fall on buyer. Short distance means seller. Buyer's right to examine the goods. Buyer always has the right to examine the goods. If you don't allow the buyer to examine the goods at delivery, he need not accept delivery. Are you able to follow, guys? Next point, acceptance of delivery, guys. Look at this. Simple 3 points. Now, these 3 concepts, guys. Acceptance is deemed to take place when the seller intimates to seller, yes, accepted the goods, does any act which is equivalent, inconsistent with the ownership. I accepted the goods and then I damaged it, or retains the goods after reasonable period. This is same as which one? Sale or return approval basis. Same 3 points. Copy and paste. Their ownership. Here, delivery. Look at the first point. Intimates to seller, yes, accepted the goods. Sale or return basis, accepted the goods. Second, does any act which is inconsistent with the adanga. Third point, does any act equivalent to acceptance. In a third point, retains the good beyond reasonable time. That also we discussed. Same sale or return basis, 3 points. Their ownership, here delivery. Clear, guys? Following. Last one. Now, you ordered in Swiggy, guys. Food came home. You didn't pay. Now you change your mind. You ordered 5 ice creams. Then suddenly you decided, I want to be healthy. So you said, I won't pay. I don't want the food. What they'll do? What they'll do? Will they say, okay, no problem. Thank you. அவங்க சாப்பிடுவா, நீ காசு கொடுக்கணுமா இல்லையா? Have you tried it? Order in Swiggy. Order to your friend's house. Put COD. Friend will say he won't pay. What will happen? I have done that. I ordered to friend's house. Night 2 a.m. and I slept off. Switched off my phone. Gave his number and slept. What will happen now? What will happen? Petrol bunk also, that is different story. Leave that. What will happen, guys? என்ன ஆகும்? Whoever ordered is liable to pay. You can't order again until you pay cancellation charges. You have to pay for it. Are you following, guys? See, you can't order and not pay. If the buyer rejects or doesn't accept delivery of goods, you have to pay damages for the same. Now, food came. It's of this next point. Buyer not bound to return the rejected goods. Goods came, but they are not of good quality. So I rejected. திருப்பி நானே போய் கொடுக்கணுமா? Intimate பண்ணா போதும். So you buy on Amazon. I bought new laptop on Amazon. It's not working. What I should do? Raise a request for pickup. It's not working. Should I go to Amazon warehouse and deliver? That's what is given here. Buyer not bound to return the rejected goods. Earlier, when Swiggy Zomato came first, COD had no limit. We can order food on COD up to 5,000 rupees or even more. So that time I ordered for 4,000 rupees to my friend's house. Once, not 4,000, 400 or something. Different story. Leave it, guys. Okay. Now they put COD limit 500 or 750. Itharla ye account ka matta account ka antarla. My account has COD limit. Okay. Others, you have it. Yes. Long distance and all the goods are getting spoiled. Deterioration. That is the next point. So his question is, sir, who will bear the loss in deterioration? So very simple. The logic is ownership. Whoever has the ownership, they will bear the risk. However, if there is a delay in delivery or damage in delivery, see, that exhaust petrol is normal damage which is bound to happen. But here I am talking about all goods damaged, delay in delivery or damage in delivery happens. Whose fault it is, they will bear the risk. If it's fault of seller, seller will bear the risk. If it's fault of buyer, buyer will bear the risk. So what is the default rule, guys? Risk follows. Again, risk follows ownership. However, if there is a delay in delivery or damage in delivery, whosoever fault it is, they will bear the risk. Can I make a change that risk will not follow ownership? Ownership will go today, risk will go after 5 years. Can I make a rule like that? Yes. Hire purchase opposite. Risk will go today, ownership will go after you pay the EMI. So default rule is risk follows ownership, but I can change between the parties. Are you following, guys? With this we are done with unit 3 of Sale of Goods Act. Okay, perfect. Open for doubts. Yes. Risk prima facie passes with ownership. That's in the point. Risk prima facie passes with ownership. Whoever has the ownership, they have the risk. But if there is delay in delivery or damage in delivery due to seller or buyer, that particular person will bear the risk. Are you following, guys? Clear? Next is unit 4. Unpaid seller. Are you following, guys? Hello, all of you with me? Guys, can we proceed? Next 20 to 30 minutes, I'll try to finish unpaid seller. So SOGA will come to an end, and then we'll have only Indian Partnership Act follow. Sorry? Yeah. Unpaid seller, simple chapter, guys. Unpaid seller is classified into unpaid seller's right against, unpaid seller's right against, and we also have buyer right against seller, and we have last concept. Guys, are you all with me? Hello. Simple chapter, I can finish in 25 minutes, guys. Follow. Now look at this here. Unpaid seller, we have unpaid seller right against goods, unpaid seller right against buyer, buyer's right against seller, auction, sale. First of all, who is an unpaid seller? to whom money is not paid. I had to pay 5,000 rupees. Unpaid seller. Only 5 rupees pending. 5 paisa pending. So even if 1 paisa is not paid, the seller will be treated as an unpaid seller. The minute I am an unpaid seller, I have rights. What rights? Since money is not paid to me, I have a few rights against the goods, and I also have a few rights against the buyer. Then we have these two extra points later. Okay. What is unpaid seller's right against goods? Now, first remember guys, look at this. I'll give you a simple timeline for you to understand this chapter. Seller, buyer. Goods are going from the seller to the buyer. Now follow very carefully. Until the goods reach the buyer, until this time, until goods reach the buyer, you will have right against. So remember, this right against goods is available only until the goods reach the buyer. Right, whatever rights we have, whatever 3-4 points we have until that, until goods reach the any scenario. Once the goods reach the buyer kaila vanda piragu, once buyer gets the goods in his hand, then I will have only unpaid seller's right against buyer. I will not have any right against goods because it's not with me, it has reached the buyer. Are you following guys? So let me repeat again. When will unpaid seller have right against goods? Until the goods reach the buyer. The minute buyer gets possession or somebody on behalf of buyer, buyer's agent or buyer's carrier gets possession of goods, this right ends and unpaid seller right against buyer starts. Are you following guys? Clear? Now, unpaid seller's right against goods is classified into two. Case where property in goods, ownership is transferred. In other case, property is not transferred to buyer. Property in goods is transferred, property in goods is not transferred. In both the cases, the first 3 points are same. Whether property ownership is transferred or ownership is not transferred, I have 3 rights guys. What are the 3 rights? Right of lien, right of stoppage in transit, and right of resale. So I have these 3 rights. Both cases, whether property is transferred or property is not transferred. What is right of lien? Right of lien means right to retain possession of goods. Whether property is transferred or property is not transferred, the unpaid seller can retain the possession. We need to discuss only 2 things in all the rights. When this right is available, when the right will come to an end. When I can get this right, when this right will end. When I will have this right, I will have this right in case of cash sales if cash is not paid. In case of credit sales, debtor has not paid the money or buyer has become insolvent. Are you following? So very simple. What is right of lien? Right to retain possession of goods. When can I get this right? When the right will come to an end. When I will get this right? Cash sales, cash not paid, credit sales, money not paid, buyer became insolvent. When this right will come to an end? Buyer made the payment. So buyer made the payment or I left the right. I lost the possession. I gave the goods. I sent the goods for delivery. So either buyer made the payment or seller waived his right or seller sent goods for delivery. That is next right. Okay. When I will end this right, look at this guys. Look at the heading of the right. Right to right of lien. In other words, right to retain possession. I am not regaining possession. Already goods are with me. I can still retain the goods with me. When? If these three things happen, cash sales, credit sale, or buyer becomes insolvent. When I will lose this right in simple, seller makes the payment, or I left the right, leave it, I waived my right, or seller sent the goods, goods are now out for, goods left me, they are out for delivery. The minute goods leaves me, guys, once it is in transit, right of lien comes to an end. Next, right of lien comes to an end. So once goods are in transit, let's say you send goods in courier, DHL courier. You can't go catch the courier person and take the goods back. Are you following, guys? Goods are in transit. When goods are in transit, during the travel, you have another right. What is that? Right of stoppage in transit. Right of stoppage in transit. This right, again same thing. When I can exercise, when the right will end. When I can exercise this right, you can exercise this right only when the goods are in transit. Then buyer has become insolvent, and also seller should remain unpaid. That is important. That's the whole concept. Seller should remain unpaid. Goods are in transit. Buyer is insolvent. When this right will come to an end? When buyer cannot make the payment here. See, here I can't tell buyer will make the payment because buyer is insolvent. So when this right comes to an end, when buyer gets the goods, in other words, transit comes to an end. So can I differentiate this way? Right of lien is when I have the goods with me. Right of stoppage in transit is when the goods are in transit. Right of lien ends and right of stoppage in transit starts. Right of lien is to retain goods. Right of stoppage in goods is to regain goods. Right of lien, the buyer need not be insolvent, may be insolvent. Right of stoppage in transit, buyer has to be insolvent. There is another difference in the book between right of lien and right of stoppage in transit. You have 5 points over there. The 5th point is a new addition. 1 year back, 5th point in the book is new addition. So the difference between right of lien and right of stoppage in transit, 5 points difference. Mark it as important for exam. Which page, guys? 2.59. I think this should be there. Yeah. In the important questions, right of lien versus right of stoppage in transit. Latest exam, they asked right of buyer against seller. So this time, right of seller against buyer becomes important. Are you following, guys? Clear? And auction sale also they tested in 2022 December only, very recently. So less important for exam. Clear, guys? So now we are done with right of lien, right of stoppage in transit. Next, are you all following, guys? Hello. Next is right of resale. Now carefully, guys, look at this. The seller now can sell the goods if buyer is not paying. Which seller? Unpaid seller. When he is selling, he can sell in 2 ways. By giving, he is going to tell the buyer, hey, if you don't pay the money within next 1 week, I will sell the goods. Notice, or sell without. Now if I sell with notice, let's say the good is costing 5,000 rupees. 2 cases, I sold for 5,500, made a profit, or sold for 4,700, made a loss. So profit or loss. When I sell with notice, I can make profit or earn loss. If I sell without notice, again I can make profit, I can make loss. You tell me logically what happens. If you resale by giving notice, profit can be retained or given up. Check guys, I'm just writing what you're telling. Profit can be retained. If I resale with giving notice, loss can be shared, recovered. Share, no, we will share it, recovered. If I resell without notice, profit retained again. Profit should be returned. He will tell, give the profit. Profit should be returned. Loss, can you recover? Cannot recover. This is what you are saying. Check guys, is this the answer? Check. Check it once. I am writing what you are saying. Notice tarlana? Correct. Hello. Okay, follow guys. Guys, understanding, this is right of resale. Last one more right is withholding delivery. This comes when ownership is transferred or not transferred. When ownership is no, withholding delivery is a right which comes, properties in goods is transferred or not transferred? Not transferred, because if property is transferred, it's not even my goods. So when property is not transferred, ownership is not transferred, I have the right to even withhold the delivery, stop the delivery. Are you following guys? Understanding? Clear? So these are rights against goods. So these rights are available until the transit comes to an end. How does transit come to an end? Either buyer can collect the goods, or buyer's agent can collect the goods, or buyer's carrier can collect the goods. Now buyer became insolvent. Danzo guy is traveling. Both seller and buyer saw location of Danzo. Both are running to the Danzo person. Who will get the goods? Whoever goes first. If seller goes and gets it, he has right of stoppage in transit. If buyer collects it first, transit comes to an end. Are you following guys? Now we are going to see this important question. Right of seller against buyer. Right of seller against buyer guys. So in right of seller against buyer, we have unpaid seller's right against buyer. If money is not paid, first you can file a suit for price. Give my money back. Suit for price. Whether ownership is transferred or whether ownership is not transferred, I can sue for price. Next, suit for damages. Damages for non-acceptance. This only is the Swiggy example. I delivered goods. You didn't accept. You are not paying. You are giving it back. It's a loss for me. Suit for damage for non-acceptance. Next, suit for interest. And last one, remedies for anticipatory. Oh, sorry. Anticipatory breach தான். Okay. Repudiation of contract before due date, which is nothing but anticipatory breach. Follow guys, if you are an unpaid seller, goods have reached the buyer, he has not paid the money, you can exercise one or combination of these rights. One, suit for price. If you are not accepting delivery, suit for damages, suit for interest. Interest will be paid from the due date of payment till actual date of payment. Even if the contract is not talking about interest, court will give interest from the due date of payment till actual date of payment. Last, repudiation of contract before due date. If you can see anticipatory breach, suddenly I got to know this guy will not pay, he is not able to pay, then I can cancel the contract before due date and sue for damages or sue for price. Repudiation means cancellation of contract before due date. Are you following guys? Understanding? Hello, when will this come? I already delivered some goods, some more delivery is pending. First deliver panna goods ke avan kaas kudukala, cancel the contract before due date. Clear? This you will mark it as important for your exam. Following, next, buyer's right against seller. Why? So the chapter is called unpaid seller. Why buyer will have right against seller? Chapter is called unpaid seller. Why buyer has right against seller? Why? Sometimes seller also will make mistake. What kind of mistake? Non-delivery. He did not deliver the goods, or delivery is not meeting with the quality, or goods are delivered but goods are not of good quality, so breach of warranty. Are you following guys? So seller delivered, can face consequence for non-delivery, or quality is not met, or breach of warranty. Now in this case, what are buyer's rights? First, if goods are not delivered, or quality is not met, or breach of warranty happens, what will the buyer do? Sue the seller for damage. Imagine you buy rice, basmati rice, you got some low quality basmati rice, what you will do? Sue for damages. I want my money back. So you will sue for damages. Correct? Next, apart from this, suit for what guys? You can sue for specific performance. When sue for specific performance, seller did not deliver, I want the delivery because nobody else is selling this goods. Let's say I purchased from online, I purchased the camera for class, he is not delivering. I am saying I don't want money. Send the camera soon. Suit for specific performance. I am not getting this camera anywhere else, you send it to me. Suit for specific performance. Next, suit for interest. Next, breach of warranty. What is breach of warranty? Quality is not met, so you will claim for damages. And last point, anticipatory breach. That comes basically in both places. Anticipatory breach. Let me explain the points once more. I hope you guys are following guys. What is the question for these points? Buyer's right against seller. So if seller does any no quality or breach of warranty, buyer's right. Buyer can claim damages. He can also sue for specific performance. Come on, deliver it. First, you promise something, do it. Or breach of warranty means I can again go back and claim for damages or claim for interest. You were supposed to deliver. I paid for buying i20 car, today 5 lakhs. They told we'll deliver in 60 days. He is delivering after 6 months. Correct? I wanted to buy i20 car, Hyundai, I paid 5 lakhs. Delivery in 2 months, he is giving after 6 months. How much delay? 4 months. That's a cost waste of bank interest loss. Pay me the interest. And anticipatory breach. Are you following guys? Now, When you go to bank for claiming damages, you will get the money, correct? Money will come in cash or in bank. Nobody will give damages in cash. Proof of transfer. So money will come in bank. So which bank? Which is the biggest bank in India? State Bank of India. In State Bank of India, whose account money will come? Your account. So SBI, it comes into your account. So A. So the damages will come into your SBI account. So damages is D, the damages that you get. SS, specific performance. BS, breach of warranty. IS, interest. A account. Are you following, guys? So damages comes into your SBI account. I didn't want to give mnemonic for both. Seller's right against buyer, no mnemonic. But buyer right against seller, you have mnemonic. Buyer only mainly wants for damage, no suit for price. Are you following, guys? Clear? This is the next mnemonic. That time in the previous video I told. I think we wrote it there, but I did not explain at that point. Are you following, guys? Understanding? Okay. Fine. Last one concept with that. Sale of goods side gets over. We have, before auction sale, there is one more small concept, 64A, which talks about increase in. This is a huge concept for CA Inter, but for the time being in our law, it's 64A says, if tax rate increases, then who will pay the money? Higher tax. When? What is the point saying, guys? Look at that. Buyer will make the, I'll take auction sale and this here. Follow, guys. Where after a contract has been made and it has been performed, if tax revision takes place, GST rate can go up, can come down. Where tax is being imposed, increase, decrease, remitted in respect of any goods, without stipulation to payment, then the following tax are applied on the goods, customs or whatever goods, the buyer will have to pay the increase unless contract is, see, if the contract is silent, then who has to pay? Buyer has to pay. But the answer is not buyer. In Inter GST, you will see a much huge concept. For now, who will pay? Buyer will make the payment. Clear? Last one, auction sale, recently tested. Let me go to the points here itself. What is auction sale? You sell multiple goods together. Each lot is treated as a separate contract of sale. Let's say here I am selling water bottle, then pen, then phone, let's say system. Everything is happening today in this room, but each item is treated as a separate contract of sale. That is the first one. Contract is sold in lots. When is the contract completed? When I use the hammer and hit, or sometimes I hit the bell. So when completion of contract of sale, the sale is completed and the auctioneer announces its completion by using some hammer or any other customary manner. Next, right to bid may be reserved. I want to sell this, let's say pen or water bottle. Can I come and bid for buying my own goods? No. So right to bid may be reserved means the seller or any person on his behalf may bid at the auction, but that right may be reserved unless, see, right to bid may be reserved expressly or on behalf of the seller, and where such right is expressly reserved but not otherwise. That means you cannot bid unless you get the consent. When this happens, let's say you took a loan, bank loan, by giving the house as security. You are not able to repay the loan. So bank is selling the house. Can I go and buy my own house? Are you following, guys? So right to bid may be reserved. Adu therinju, for example, see, house is 1 crore worth. You took a loan of 80 lakhs. You are not able to pay this. So bank is selling this house in auction to recover the money. Can I myself go to the auction and bid for it? No, you cannot bid unless you intimate the same. But however, if you bid, what will happen? Such a contract will be voidable. where the sale is not notified and then you make the bid, then such a sale will be treated as fraudulent by the buyer. So we studied in Contract Act, fraud means voidable, correct? Fraud is voidable. So generally seller should not bid for his own goods. Like here what I'm trying to say, not the buyer guys, sorry. Who is selling this in the auction? Bank is selling. Now bank is the seller over here for the house. So bank itself cannot buy it unless you get consent of the parties. But if such a thing happens, then it is fraudulent, it is voidable. Are you following guys? Last one, reserved price. Have you seen IPL auction, base price 20 lakhs, 2 crores, that only is reserved price or base price. Printed bidding, Vijay Mallya does an IPL auction, simply he will increase the price. Now latest auction this Delhi team will do, simply they will increase the price. That is called pretended bidding. It is voidable at the option of buyer. Then why not sir in IPL auction, why can't they say it's voidable? At the pretended nota, how do you know? For looking at us, we think it's, he will tell, no, I didn't pretend, I wanted to buy in Solva. Are you following guys? Understanding? Clear? Everybody is fine, understood these 6 points. This was recently tested, but just be aware of the side headings. Recently means not June 23. So if something doesn't come in June 23, it can come anytime. See, it came in 2022 in some exam. So it can repeat. Are you following it? So just have a quick read. That's it with this. Sale of Goods Act comes to an end. Perfect. Okay. Okay, follow guys. Let me finish off for LLP at least the key provisions which I want to cover. Financial disclosure already done. Effect of registration is same as section 9 in Companies Act. Effect of registration. Once LLP is registered, it becomes a separate legal entity. Perpetual succession, can be sued. LLP can buy property in its name. LLP can incur liabilities. Those are the points. Next, whistleblowing. We recently came. What is whistleblowing? So whistleblowing, what is whistleblowing guys? If any of the employees complain or what is it guys? Hello? Any of the employees provide useful information during provides useful information during investigation to the government, then the government can reduce his punishment, reduce his liability. Are you guys following guys? And yeah, he cannot be harassed, threatened, suspended in any manner. Are you understanding? Clear guys? He should also not be fired. So imagine tomorrow when you're working in a company, if you find that company is doing some fraud, if you report that to the government, that is called whistleblowing. That means being in the company, you are blowing a whistle against the company, giving information to the authorities. You have to do that very carefully. You can't go put Instagram story. Okay. When that happens, government will give you a protection that you will not be punished. Sir, naane fraud panna sir. Now I will go and surrender. Then the punishment will be reduced. That is whistleblowing, came in latest exam. Partner by holding out, we already finished. What is that? Partner by estoppel. LLP wound up by tribunal, we finished those 5 points. Apart from this, you also learn what is LLP, basic features. LLP kun company difference, LLP partnership difference. What are the core features of LLP? First page you will have that. Go through that also guys. Okay. I don't know why small LLP is missing here. I didn't write. That is small company. So you will add small LLP. Just remind me, I will put this in the group also. Small LLP, I will revise this PDF. How did I miss that? Okay, I just have to convey this. Okay, small LLP is also very important, more important than all these questions. Okay, then outgoing partner, partner concept is important. That is like retirement of a partner. Whenever a partner leaves the LLP, he is called as a former partner. When can I leave the LLP? It can be in case of coal for you guys. AC coal. Okay. Yes. Matikong gusto. Yes. Okay. Fine. Guys, follow. Guys, outgoing partner or former partner concept is very simple, guys. Sorry. When does a partner leave LLP? In case of retirement or insolvency, or in case of expulsion is not an LLP, guys. In case of, let's say, partner becomes unsound mind. So in case of retirement, insolvency, or partner becomes unsound mind, he will leave the firm. Such a partner is called, he is not called outgoing partner. Once he leaves, he is known as former partner. From where the term former came, former cricketer, like that, former partner. Are you guys following? Okay. Now with this, the former partner, what he has to do, related provisions we have. You have to see, guys, is former partner liable to others? No. But the former partner's duty is to give a notice that he is leaving to whom, guys? LLP. And LLP will intimate ROC. What is former partner's rights? Can he take part in the management? No. Can he take part in the capital of the business? No. But he has the right to receive his share of profits. So that concept is important. Please go to that. Former partner, once he's leaving, he has to give a notice. What notice? Public notice or LLP notice? He has to give a public notice along with notice to LLP. He has to give what notice, guys? Public notice and notice to LLP. That notice is forwarded to ROC. Until that time, he gets share of profits, but he can't participate in capital or management. Following, guys? Okay. Yeah, share of profits only, his share of property. Okay. Next one, last one, name clause related provisions. What is the name clause for LLP? The name should not be undesirable. Here another amendment, guys. Very important amendment in LLP. The name of LLP should not be undesirable in the opinion of central government. In the opinion of central government, and the name should not be similar or identical to any other company or LLP or LLP body corporate, or that's it. And it should not be identical to any other registered trademark. What is the amendment here? Earlier, they said the name should not be similar or identical even to a partnership. That is removed now in RTP amendment, guys. That means they are trying to make partnership get registered. So this is another amendment in LLP Act which says the name of LLP should not be undesirable in the opinion of central government, and it should not be similar or identical to any other company, LLP or body corporate or registered trademark. Are you following, guys? And the time limit over here, 6 months for what? 6 months or 3 months? Check that. 3 months. 3 or 6 or you have to change the name within 3 months after government asks you to change it. Just check that once. 3 or 6. 3 months. Okay. Okay. With this, I have completed the important points of LLP. Now, what we have left, we have Unit 1 of Indian Contract Act. I am not discussing much of that case. I know all of you know offer, acceptance. That part you are clear. We don't have time for that. Now, after this, we have left is only Indian Partnership Act. Following, guys. Okay.